What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the greatest podcast on earth, the podcast where you have no idea what's going to happen. The You Might Be Surprised podcast. Get yourself a drink and enjoy this episode, boy. Oh my gosh, what is going on, everyone? How is everyone doing? I hope you guys had a beautiful Thanksgiving and a great Black Friday or whatever. Is Black Friday even a thing? I'm recording this currently on Black Friday, so you guys are hearing this Monday or whenever you guys listen to it in the future. It is currently the day after Thanksgiving of 2021, and yeah, man, it's I am hungover. I am exhausted and hungover. I have so much to talk about. So much to just get out on this podcast. Some things to talk about. Some TikToks to pull up. But let me rewind the back. Rewind it back a little bit. Rewind it back a little bit. Sorry if you guys are listening to that in headphones. That was very obnoxious, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Also, I'm gonna try to not say this whole entire podcast. That's gonna be very hard. I've been listening to my podcasts, and I say about 3,000 times. Like, if you guys ever are listening and you want to play a drinking game, go back and listen to any of my podcasts and take a shot every single time I say and you'll be blacked out within the first 5 minutes of the podcast. So I'm not going to say that word anymore. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to get that out of my head so that way I don't say that. Dad, I just said it. Duh. No more saying that word. I'm gonna say it so many times. So, where have I been, or why am I so hungover? I have some stories to tell you guys. I want to say it right there, but I'm not going to. So, I didn't say it. My guys, I'm just gonna be in a circle of this. All right, forget it. If I say it, I say it, but I'm gonna try not to say it that much. So, I didn't post the week before because I was in Vegas and I didn't have anything to do for that. I was in Vegas for some certain things, but I did a 3-day Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a 3-day bender in Vegas, and I think I kind of found myself in Vegas. Let me know if anyone can relate to this, but I figured out who I am as a person when I was in Vegas. All right, now let me tell you guys that you don't want me on your team if we're gambling. Your boy lost $500, but let me tell you why I lost $500. So the first day I'm there, I lose $200 quick, and then I was able to play with $300 of my own cash and play with that while I was there. So to me, that money was already gone, right? So the games I mostly played were blackjack. I played strictly blackjack. I put some cash into some slot machines every now and then, but I mostly play blackjack. All right, so let me tell you who I am as a person and how I found myself in Vegas. So I found out that I don't give a shit about odds. I don't, for certain cases, and I think this is why I don't, because so let me break down the story and then I'll explain. So I already had $300 of my own cash out, right? I was given $200 and I had $300 of my own cash out. So for that weekend, I already assumed that $300 was gone. That was all I was giving myself to gamble with. So I was playing with that cash up and down. I was down to $100, made back to $300. I was down $200. So the last night that I'm there, I was able to take my $200 and turn it into $275 because I lost $100 of it. So I'm only down $25, right? And I'm leaving the casino and I see a roulette table. If you don't know what roulette is, pretty much it's a ball that spins around and there's a bunch of numbers. It's either red, black, or green. Green is super small. It's an 11-1 odds if you hit green. But red or black is normally 50-50. So I'm leaving the casino. I have my $275 in chips, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. When in Rome, or when in Vegas, in this circumstance. And I'm like, screw it. All on red. All on red. Didn't even look at the sign. Didn't even look at the percentages. I just knew in my head, all on red. Put $275 on red. Spins, 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 spins. The ball bounces, right? Hits black. Hits black. And I wasn't even mad. But I found out that night that I am the type of person who is going to go up against all odds, even when it's not in my favor. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, dude. And I think where it comes down to a lot, where I see this a lot for like my everyday life, especially for podcasting, especially for content creation and things like that, is I will send DMs to people I shouldn't be sending DMs to. And I'm not just talking about hot chicks. I'm sending DMs out to celebrities. I'm always entering into giveaways. And I mean, this year, I haven't really talked about that much on the podcast because I didn't really know if I wanted to, but I sent a DM out to Nikki Glazer. If you don't know who she is a comedian. I said when I was like, hey, your socials suck, right? Like, look at people like Andrew Schultz. Look at people like Bert Kreischer. You could be popping like they are, making these cool podcast clips, cool stand-up clips, and our, like, the way we wanted to do things just didn't align. She didn't really like what I could do. She had a goal for her own thing. I still think she's screwing up. She still could be popping off even more. With or without my help, I really think I could have helped her out a lot, but that's neither here or there. But I got there because, against all odds, with her 400,000 something followers, I don't even know how many she has. She has a lot, though. The fact that she saw that and was like, hey, screw it, let me give this guy a chance, tells me something that's just like, I'm the type of person that's going to do something even if I know the odds are literally not in my favor. So that's what I learned about myself in Vegas, and that's why I think I continue to push out this podcast, continue to push out other creations and shit like that. If you don't know, I have a second channel where I vlog and make videos like that. Tomorrow, actually, I'm currently going to be creating a vlog, and I'm also shooting some B-roll for another video I'm shooting. 3 reasons why you should own white shoes. I'm really into fashion, really into white and shoes, and I'm really into white shoes, so that kind of helps with that type of channel. But then I'm also going to vlog, shoot some B-roll of going to Milwaukee, and make a vlog about what I've learned about either podcasting or creating content for a year. So yeah, dude, that's what I learned, and I don't know if that's a good idea, because if I would have read the statistics on the roulette board, it said 55% of the time it's hitting black, and I said fuck it, red for that 45%, and I mean, it didn't hit black, but also there was a chance that it could have hit red. I could have had $700 something or more. But yeah, man, that's what I learned about myself. That's what I learned about myself. I go up against all odds, and maybe that's a bad thing, and maybe I'm going to continuously be stuck in this wheel of where, oh, if I just do this one thing, I'll become famous. Oh, if I just put $1,000 on red, I will double it. Or all I need is $5,000 and I can start this clothing brand, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't work. But I think in life is so damn short that maybe taking these gambles and risks are a good thing. Or I will wake up being 70, having no money and not successful. But you never know. You never know, dude. But yeah, so I was in Vegas, so that's why I didn't post a podcast this week, even though you guys don't even notice. Even though most of the people that watch these things are just randomly click through the video. I only have 33 something subscribers, so if you're watching this, subscribe. It makes my day better. Said again, son of a bitch. All right, some things I want to talk about since I was gone. I wrote down a couple of things. As you know, if you keep up with this podcast or if you look at any other videos, I am hugely into comic book stuff, and what kind of falls under that line is James Bond. Now, if you haven't seen the new James Bond movie, shut doing, and it was good, right? It's not something that you have to like run out to, I don't think, but it's definitely something that I think you should watch, especially if you're a big fan of Daniel Craig. Now, since the Daniel Craig era, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the new James Bond, I'm going to talk about some here. Skip like 5 minutes. Daniel Craig dies in the new James Bond. So now we are in a new James Bond era. First of all, how many more James Bonds can they do? Like, I love James Bond. I really do love James Bond. But, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. If you haven't seen a James Bond film, let me break it down for you. There's James Bond. There's the secret agency. He gets put on a mission. Chances are it's a nuke or a disease of some kind that's going to destroy the world. Along that mission, James Bond goes, I need a martini, shaken, not stirred. And also, while he's at that same bar that he's getting that martini, while he's spying on a bad guy, he finds a smoke show. And then they have sex. And now the girl actually gets put in danger. And then James Bond, not only does he have to save the day, he has to save the girl. Now, I know what you're thinking. For that movie to be successful, you need a sleek guy, somebody that doesn't know that he's a spy, somebody who, when you give him the name James Bond, you just think it's a normal fucking guy. So there needs to be a new James Bond now that Daniel Craig is dead. So who's going to be the next James Bond? And dude, there's no other sleeker person than The Rock. Yeah, The Rock wants to be James Bond. Hey, Dwayne Johnson, man, did you ever see a James Bond? Oh, you might be the number one working actor besides Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Hart. Oh, you might be able to deadlift 767 pounds. But dude, if The Rock was James Bond, that series is done with. Just imagine The Rock being James Bond. He's going to a bar to get some intel on the secret Russia service. He's in Russia. He sits down, and the guy immediately at the bar is like, "You're a spy, aren't you?" And The Rock is like, "No, I'm not a spy. My name is James Bond. James Bond. My name is James Bond, and I'm here to get a martini stirred because I'm breaking it. And also, you can't actually no screw that. Screw the martini. If The Rock is James Bond, he's gonna say, "Give me a margarita," because Terramina tequila. That you're definitely a spy because who drinks margaritas? It's Russia, dude. There's nothing happy about this. Hey, guards, come here. Hey, guards, come here. Arrest this man. And then there's a brutal fight, and The Rock or James Bond just accidentally kills everyone. I mean, James Bond does have a license to kill, but, there needs to be 4% of actual believableness to James Bond. 4%. 4%. If The Rock is James Bond, that 4% is out the door. The reason he wants to be James Bond is because his great grandfather or his grandfather or something like that was the villain in Dr. No. back with Sean Connery. Back when Sean Connery was James Bond. At least I think. Who was... let me show you. Dr. No cast. Yeah, it was Sean Connery. Look at me being all James Bondy and shit, right? I didn't stop saying Huh. Anyways, I saw that, had some feelings about it, had to talk about it. Also, kind of some... I feel like I should talk about this, but I don't know what to say. And it was in the back of my head. And being from the area, I feel like I should say something about it because it's absolutely terrible. So I did want to say something about it, and I'm not going to make a big deal about it because I believe the attention should be on the attack and not me saying something along the lines of like, oh, this is terrible. But also this past weekend, before I get into some TikToks, the aukesha massacre, the terrorist attack that happened right in my back door. I went to school in the aukesha area, and I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want it to make it about me, and I didn't want to say that or anything, but I do think light needs to be shed on it because I don't think it's getting the reporting that it does, and maybe whoever's seeing this can help, or they should just know like it is absolutely terrible and tragic what happened to Waukesha, and it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart that there's somebody out there that just doesn't give a shit about anyone's humanity and their lives to just take a car and run through a crowd of people. It's absolutely terrible. And if anyone, I just want to say, I'm so sorry for everyone who lost their lives and are continuing to fight. That it's terrible, and especially it's literally right down the street from me. It's terrible. I can't believe that happened in my community. Even if it didn't happen in my community, it would be absolutely terrible. And then that's all I want to say on it. I think it's crazy what the media is doing to that, but it came into my head, and I didn't want to not say something because I would feel terrible not saying something about it, but I'm not going to publicize it. Just if you're watching this, just know it's fucked up, and I hope the guy goes away to prison for a very long time, for life. It's terrible. Anyways, on another note, I do have some TikToks that I wanted to talk about here. Dude, who can't get the, hey, yo, what you want to tell Joe Biden right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo. That TikTok, I find it always hilarious, the type of TikToks and trends that app can set, because TikTok is the number one consumption app right now of just media. And if you think it's not, you're kidding yourself. But it's crazy the type of trends that come through, and I spend a decent amount of time on TikTok because I accidentally gosh dang it, they stop saying I accidentally spend too much time when I should be doing other stuff like writing down ideas for this podcast and things like that. But dude, coffee TikTok is crazy. Coffee TikTok is crazy. So your boy likes coffee. I actually consider myself a coffee connoisseur. I love coffee. I absolutely love coffee. And I think that people that make coffee are outrageous. Watch this.
Top from Walmart.
First of all, that jar is way too big. Hey, you're gonna drink like 12,000 calories. All right, so there's one set of ice. Yeah, you slammed that in there. Oh my god. Oh! And she gets more ice. First of all, if you buy Starbucks coffee as your number one source of coffee, like the Starbucks coffee that you get at a store and the little jug like she has, hey, you don't actually like coffee. Anyways, I just want to put that out there. Dude, that is so much coffee. And I forgot that she caramel drizzled the sides. That face is kind of funny. It's actually super satisfying, I will say. Oh my god. I'll stir that. Stir it. I don't think that's coffee. I think you just made yourself a chocolate shake. The reason why I found this so funny was because I accidentally spent an hour of my time looking at people who make coffee, and I think that there's a problem because, number one, they're not even really drinking coffee. They're drinking like 10% coffee and 90% sugary milk, and you wonder why people are off the walls, dude. This made me laugh so I don't know why. Dude, when I make coffee, I drink it black because I'm a man. None of that extra BS unless I'm going to Starbucks. Dude, sometimes I go to Starbucks and the fruitiness in me comes out. Normally, I get the strongest coffee that I can. But when I'm in Starbucks, hey, give me the caramel brulee coffee. Give me the Irish cream cold brew. Give me the pink drink. Give me the freaking strawberry acai refresher. Fruitiness up the wazoo. And then every now and then I'm like, you know what? Just give me an iced Americano. Because I need to remind myself that I'm only 4% fruity and 96% man. The dumb things I find funny. Another little quick thing that I saw on TikTok, dude. Has anyone else ever been in these situations where you see something online and you wish that would happen to you? This is one of those situations right here. Watch this.
Is how drunk.
So this guy is trying to deadlift some weight. And obviously this guy right here, who's a dad, who obviously cheats on his wife because you could tell by what he's wearing. If you're acting like a dick and you're wearing that, you cheat on your wife and you're lonely and your kids don't like you. So this dude right here is just sitting on the weights. And I wish this was me. I wish this was me. Not only would I be calm, cool, and collected, I would let him sit there and I would walk away. And then I would do this. If you haven't seen this, oh my gosh, this video, yep, watch this.
We're out here, it's gonna suck, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen Jackass, just watch this. I would do this to this guy right here.
Oh, get over it. You don't care. It's the type of thing.
The guy's just sitting on the weights.
After you're done with it. Oh my.
That's what I would do to that guy. Because he deserves it. And I don't initiate violence on anyone. But if someone sits if somebody sits on my weights when I'm deadlifting a truck, I'm going to Bam Margera double kick you in the back like this.
You're done with it. Oh my God, dude.
And then I would just walk away like nothing happened. Because that guy ain't going to be swinging on me because he's so dazed and confused. People like that are only macho until somebody puts them in their place. Me doing a flying leg kick, Bam Margera style, dude, puts him in his place, and he's like, what just happened? And then he has nothing to say to me. I just put him in his place. I'm so hungover. Yeah. That's all. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. Last thing I wanted to talk about, I kind of wanted to bring this full circle and kind of talk about kind of how I go up against all odds and how I think you guys could be doing it too. And kind of circle back and let you guys know like kind of the investments I made this year and how they turned out. Because a lot of my investments that I do, and I'm not just talking about stonks and crypto, I'm talking about like companies and things like that, or like ideas that I have to see if they panned out. So this year I've taken a decent amount of risks. Some have paid off, some haven't. One of them would be like reaching out to Nikki Glazer and being like, hey, your socials suck, let me help you. It didn't really work out, but it got me the experience to say, hey, I've technically worked with a famous comedian. So that's super cool. Some of the investments I've made this year, like actual stock wise, haven't paid out. I'm down $1,500. But I kind of learned this year to do your own research. And kind of invest in the things that you want to do. So that's like $1,500. No, that's $2,500 that is kind of just gone. I also took a decent amount of money and thought I was going to be creating this clothing brand that I called Creative Club. Now, I don't think the clothing brand game is out for me. There's still an itch in me to create a clothing brand and create some dope designs. But the Creative Club thing didn't really work in my favor. So I probably invested in that like $400 or $500. And the reason why it didn't work in my favor was because the product I was producing, it was too shitty for me to sell. I would have felt terrible for selling that. So that didn't work out, but I am kind of in the midst of creating a new one. But what kind of spawned from me creating that clothing brand was this side channel that I've been working on. I kind of enjoy doing that stuff a little bit more. Doing this podcast is always like my pride and joy. And I do think I'm going to circle back to podcasting at some point in my life to do like an actual podcast where I have guests on. And because doing this whole podcast is rough, man. It's super rough, especially when like the numbers aren't there, but they are there at the same time. Like I'm getting downloads and I'm getting views, but it's like you have to keep going and you have to trust that you have to do your own thing and make it your own, but also you have to trust in yourself that you can do it. And that's probably like the biggest investment is like your time. And I've been doing a lot of time kind of live streaming on Twitch. You might be surprised. Follow me on there. These second channels. And then this podcast, man. This podcast has probably been my largest investment. Kind of. I still feel like I'm wasting my time with it, if I'm completely honest. I've had some pretty cool guests on. And it, like with podcasting, I met some cool people. But like, I really think podcasts in general are meant for like famous people now. Like if I were to start this podcast back in like 2010, it would have automatically blown up because there wasn't a lot of people doing what it was doing. But now that podcasting is like the medium route, like if you're famous and you have no talent, you didn't go to college, and I take those things lightly. All right. You just don't have anything lined up after your career and whatever you're doing. They just start a podcast and start talking about Epstein and conspiracy theories and shit like that. Or you have to be really freaking funny. But the thing is everyone does the same podcast. How many times are you going to hear girls or guys talk about their love life or things like that? But I guess everyone has a story, so I shouldn't really hate on it that much. But that's an investment. There's something else I did. I invested in a lot of crypto that kind of just didn't go. But all in all, I would say I probably invested like $3,000 that just didn't go anywhere. But I would easily invest that $3,000 again for another chance. Like I'm the type of person that puts more money in because I know in the long run at some point I'm going to make it back. At least that's my goal. So if you have to take one thing out of this podcast away, this episode is one, people are addicted to coffee, but not only coffee, making milkshakes of coffee. If there's someone sitting on your deadlift, Bam Margera flying kick his ass or her, that'd be even funnier if it was a girl and a girl flying kicked the girl. Or if it, dude, imagine if it was a girl that sat on it and then a guy flying kicked the girl. The internet would blow up. And then just invest in yourself, try new things, because you're gonna be 75 and you're gonna be like, damn, I should have did that. I could have been famous off of that. I could have been successful off of that. And that's all. And I think that's all I'm trying to do, and all I'm trying to spread throughout this thing is just find something that you're passionate about, whether it be finding random TikToks and talking about James Bond and things like that, and just fucking reach for it. I didn't realize I just turned into a fucking motivational podcast, but you know, that's the whole point of this podcast, is you might be surprised what happens. So with that being said, we're like 29 minutes in. I normally keep these episodes to half an hour. Sometimes they're 45 minutes, sometimes they're an hour, but 30 minutes, I feel like I can talk about things very nice. I feel like I didn't say 12,000 times. Definitely said it a couple times though. The water's gone. The episode is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Chris. Y'all have been beautiful. Make sure you guys check out my second channel. We will actually end it with this if you made it this far. I'm going to play a little clip beginning of one of my videos. If you're not listening, if you're not watching, you're going to be like, what in the world? I also get more views on this. Like, look at this, 550, 100, 772 views. Cool. All right. But shush me. This is what you can expect on my second channel. It's some B-roll. So that's what you can expect from that. I also make vlogs and things like that. I'm just really obsessed with just creating videos. And I'm starting to realize that creating videos, 90% of it, 75 is actually getting up and doing it. The other 25% is making it great in post. It's just putting your mind to it and saying you can do it. And I think that's just life. Anyways, I've been Chris. Y'all have been beautiful as always. And try something new. You might be surprised what happens. Peace! Now I'm going to try to not look hungover. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.